I will be presenting chapter 2 of the Shirdi Sai Satcharitha. In the previous chapter, we heard of Baba's miracle of destroying cholera by simply grounding wheat. There were many other miracles similar to this one that happened in Shirdi. When Govind Raghunath Davolkar or Hemant Pant heard of these Baba's stories, he thought they would be pleasing and helpful to all the world's Baba's devotees. This is the reason Mr. Davolkar or Hemant Pant decided to start writing the satcharitha. He wanted to show that the path of a saint is a true and a great path. At first, Hemant Pant thought that he was not the right person to take and complete this task. He thought, I do not know the lives of my friends. How can I write the life of a saint and a task even the Vedas could not do? One has to be a saint in order to understand the teachings and the life of another saint. He thought that it was a difficult and a task that was as difficult as covering the sky with pieces of cloth. It was a very hard job, so he invoked Baba's grave. The Satcharitha was not the first work about the teachings of Baba. In 1878, Das Ganu wrote two books about the lives of saints, Bhakta Lilamrit and Sant Lilamrit, which was also the teachings of Baba. Savitri Bai Raghunath Tendulkar also wrote a book called the Sri Sainath Bhajan Mala. The question was, what is the necessity for a book? Another book. There were already so many about the teachings of Baba. Well, Baba's teachings are endless. Hemant Pant believed that if these things, these treasures were written down other than and devotees meditated upon it, they can achieve whatever they wanted. Before Hemant Pant started with the Satcharitha, he wanted to ask permission for Baba. So he could not himself go to and ask Baba. Instead, he asked Hemant Pant to ask Baba. Shama asked, this Anna Sahib wishes to write your teachings in a biography. Don't say that you are a poor fakir, and there is no necessity to write it. But if you agree and help him, he will write it, or rather your grace will accomplish this work. Without your blessing, nothing can be done. Once Baba heard this, he immediately gave his blessing to Hemant Pant and said, let him make a collection of my experience, as he is only an outward instrument, and I will write my own biography. As soon as he surrenders his ego, I will enter his body and write my own life. This is how Hemant Pant, or rather Baba himself, started writing about his own life. We all know the author, Govind Raghunath Davolkar, as Hemant Pant. But how did he come to the name of Hemant Pant? I would first like to explain how he went to Shirdi. Hemant Pant was a close friend of Nana Sahib Chandolkar and Kaka Sahib Dixit. They convinced him to go to Shirdi, so he booked a trip to Shirdi. But he unfortunately had to postpone this trip because a friend's son fell ill. So he went and visited his friend first. And he noticed that his friend had tried all spiritual and medical ways to heal him. And he even brought his guru to heal him. And his guru could not do anything. Seeing this, Hemant Pant got upset. He thought, what is the necessity or utility for a guru if he cannot save you? How is he helpful, and what is the use of going to Shirdi? So therefore he cancelled his trip and postponed it further. And then something happened. Nana Sahib Chandolkar, a very close devotee of Baba, came and chatted with Hemant Pant. He told him and convinced him to go to Shirdi. So Hemant Pant finally came to a decision to go to Shirdi. And once he arrived there, he went to Baba and touched his feet and kind of gave darshan. And he understood why Kaka Sahib and Nana Sahib Chandolkar pressed him so much. Once he touched his feet, he felt a sense of relief and realization go through him. He felt that he started a new life with this encounter. After he arrived at Shirdi, on his first day, he went to Satya's Vada. At Satya's Vada, he and another devotee named Bala Sahib Bhakti had a discussion, or rather an argument. Hemant Pant asked, what is the necessity of a guru? Why is it necessary to submit yourself to a guru, to a person who cannot help but sleeps indolently? While Mr. Bhatti asked, what is meant to happen is bound to happen. Brush away your ego, cleverness, and pride, as it will not help you. In this way, the argument went on for several hours and finally ended only because of exhaustion. The result was both sides lost their peace of mind. The argument would not have happened had it had not been the egoism and the strength of mind. The truth is, egoism breeds arguments and discussions. Shortly after the argument ended, Mr. Davolkar went to the masjid and had darshan of Baba. When they arrived, Baba had asked Kaka Sahib, what was going on in the water? What did this Hema Kund say? He wondered why Mr. Davolkar wondered why Baba had called him Hema Kund, which was a short name for Hemadri Kund, who was a well-known minister of kings. He wondered why he was being connected to such a well-known saint and an author of several works. Mr. Davolkar thought he was very lowly of himself. He thought he was a person of mediocre intellect, and he did not understand why he was being compared to Hema Kund. And then he understood that Baba had called him this name because he wanted to make him humble and take away his ego. Looking back, we can see now that why Mr. Davolkar was called Hema Kund, as he was in fact a person of high intelligence and who managed the science of Khan and temple for several decades after. Lastly, I would like to end with the question Hema Kund has asked throughout this chapter. What is the utility of a guru? One day, Kaka asked Baba where he was going. He said that he was going through a dangerous path filled with ditches and tigers. Kaka said, why don't we take a guide? And then Baba said that if we take with a guide, he will take us to the safest path and avoiding all the ditches and dangers. Well, the teaching that is taught from this experience is basically that a guru is like a guide. He's a person who avoids all the dangers of life and ditches and takes us through the safest path of life. Sai Ram.